You are listening to the Fringe Radio Network. FringeRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Earth Oddity Podcast. My name is John. This is Tiny.
Hello.
And we are your favorite podcast. And we have a lot of amazing stories for you this week. And I do the most awkward intros ever. So,
are you trying to make me feel better?
No,
because
no.
I messed mine up last week.
No, not at all. I like, I'll plan something in my head and then my mouth opens and I say something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So I never know what to say. But I feel like being awkward and genuine is endearing in a lot of ways.
Certainly with this audience.
Yeah.
And certainly with you.
No, I don't know about with me, but I just think in general,
Right.
If you're just genuine, even if you're awkward, people like that. So how was your week this week?
Not great.
Not great. Mine either,
I tell you what. Okay, now listen. Everybody, if you want to get straight to the odd news, there's a skip button on every single podcatching app I've ever come across.
Sure.
You won't hurt my feelings if you skip by this.
Yeah.
But if I could rant for just a minute.
Okay, give it to me.
I want to say this. I have never in my life had nothing but good experiences with Walmart pickup.
Okay.
It's been a godsend. It's been a wonderful, convenient way. For the few times we try to shop at Aldi, I feel like you save money.
Right.
But sometimes there's stuff we need that they don't sell, and we typically go with a Walmart. Never had a problem until yesterday.
Okay.
John.
What was the problem?
I had a Walmart pickup to make from 3 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
I get off work at 3 o'clock. I was going to stop by Walmart on my way home.
Logically.
And then I was going to go home. And yesterday was one of those nights where me and Tara had a sitter.
Oh.
For both boys. Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Super excited. Had a long day at work.
Sure.
A hot day, by the way, because I don't know if the audience knows this, but most tire manufacturing facilities, at least in the Southeast, are not air conditioned.
Yeah,
and it's July in Alabama.
Yeah, it was a hot day.
It was a hot day. I go to Walmart to pick up my cart. There's a line of folks, but, I'm not thinking it's that big a deal. I mean, it's going to take a little bit longer than normal, but, I think I want to say I got there around 3:20, 3:25. It's not going to be that big. I get in line. I move through the line fairly quickly. I get my parking spot. Some dude comes out there, says, "Hey, what's your name?" I tell him my name. Great. All right. Well, 4 o'clock rolls by, and the air conditioning in my truck decides to crap out for whatever reason.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, so I roll down my windows and I start getting thirsty. So I look across the parking lot and I see a vending machine. I go over there and I get me a drink. I come back. I'm still waiting. 4:20 rolls around and a guy comes up, asks me my name. And I'm like, yeah, tell him my name. He's like, all right, cool. We'll be back soon. He goes off somewhere. 4:45 rolls around.
Oh.
Still sitting there. Sun's beating down. Still don't have my cart.
Man, it was hot yesterday, too.
It was so hot.
I know.
And I'm starting to get a little ill. Yeah, I'm a very patient person.
Sure.
But it's been 45 minutes past the point I was supposed to get it. At this point, I could have gone in the store and bought all that stuff myself and got out faster. 5 o'clock rolls around. Tara calls me up and says, "Hey, the boys are gone. Where are you at?"
Oh, she's ready. Okay.
So immediately I get on my phone. I start... I channel my inner Karen and I start complaining to customer service. I send emails. I leave horrible, nasty customer surveys. I try to call the customer service. They put me on wait for forever. 5:30 rolls around. A lady comes up with her little face mask, and she's like, "I'm so sorry. We're having problems. Tell me your name again." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm going to tell you for the third time. My name is Christopher Sullivan. Do you have my order behind those doors? Because I'll go get it myself if you'll just hand it over."
Yeah, you just got to release it to me. Right.
By the way, I want to say 5:30 or so, I get a confirmation email from Walmart. They've charged me for my order. Somebody back there at a computer has punched in, "Hey, this is done."
Right.
I don't know if it's making them look bad that still haven't got it or what, but they've charged my card at this point.
They knew you were mad. They're like, "This dude's going to be leaving. Let's go ahead and ding his card."
And so, 5:45 rolls around. I'm furious. And
Mad Tiny's like, I can't imagine that's a good Tiny to be around.
And you don't see that Tiny much.
Yeah, right. Never. Yeah, I got you.
And at this point, no one has come out. Like, I want to say there was like 3 or 4 cars that got their groceries and left during that time. But it's not just me. It's everybody there. And I haven't seen one of those little blue smocks walk out of that door in like 20 minutes.
Wow.
And at 6 o'clock rolls around, I just finally left. I was like,
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. So I left. I went home. I called up customer service. I had to stay on hold for forever.
It's all during date night, too.
But I finally got somebody on, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, I need a refund. Y'all charged me for this order. I never got it. You ruined my day. I need my money back."
Yeah.
And it was just the worst. I've never had a bad experience with Walmart pickup until yesterday, but I can't imagine a worse experience.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
I waited 2 hours on my order. I never got it.
With no air conditioning.
Got charged for it. No air conditioning. Sun beating down. This is date night.
Right, yeah. No, it's like a confluence of bad situations all came together.
So I don't know who's at fault.
Yeah.
But I hate it. And I want to say this. I am opposed to police brutality. But if America does have a tragedy in the next few days, if the protesters could just go to Super Walmart on Skyland Boulevard, that would be great.
All right. That's my one question was going to be, what Walmart were you at? We don't have those problems in North Florida. I've never had those problems. And my other one was going to be, before you went through all of that, was going to be how many times have y'all picked up groceries at Walmart?
At that particular one, several times, because it's a super center, so you can get more stuff,
right, So, I was going to say, don't let one bad experience ruin it. Because that's what I tell Deidre all the time when I screw up. Like, hey, let's think about all the good things I've done. I lost all our money once. Only once bad thing I've done. So,
well, now as far as that particular store,
yours are very extreme. Yeah. No, I would go neighborhood market all day long. Right. That's pretty much what we do.
Mm-hmm.
I did do the Walmart, the regular Northport. Deidre was like, "Hey, pick these groceries up on your way home from lunch." And I wasted a whole lunch hour waiting for her to bring it out. So that's happened to me once. But I had air conditioning and I got all my groceries. They were just busy. So
my phone went dead, by the way, too. If I forgot to mention that, my phone went dead and I didn't have a car charger.
So how did date night go?
It definitely improved my mood.
Okay.
But
did y'all actually go out or anything?
No, we didn't have time to go out.
You already wasted most of your day.
Yeah.
So Deidre and I don't do a whole lot of date nights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. We just never have. Plus, paying a babysitter for my kids is like, you're going to have to lay down some money to watch those monkeys,
Well, now, I will say that the sitter was just my in-laws.
Okay.
But our oldest son, he goes over to Mimi and Pawpaw's a lot.
Yeah.
But the youngest one, he don't go over there as much because older brother, he likes to have Mimi and Pawpaw all to himself.
Sure.
And I think he may be maybe just a tad bit the favorite grandchild.
Yeah.
And so...
Well,
the younger one, he don't go. It's typically date night is me, Tara, and the baby. Which he's not a baby anymore. He's 2.5. But
he's still young enough. You can put him to bed on some trumped up charge. Give him a little shot of Benadryl and let him go to bed. My days, I have nothing like that to rant about. I just basically had a lot of people call me with problems this week that I had to fix, and that's just my job. So one thing yesterday, Deidre calls me. It's probably about 3 o'clock and was like, hey, her dad farms, also has a small trucking company, called and said, hey, dad has one of his drivers broke down in town and wanted to know if you could go let him sit in your car in the air conditioning until the wrecker gets there from Fayette to pick him up. And I'm like, I got a lot going on. I don't want to leave, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, I'll let him know. Well, then like 2 seconds later, her dad called. Hey, can you go, my driver's sitting on the side of the road. He's just right up from you by the toll bridge. Can you go just let him sit in your car? He's a big old boy and it's hot. And I don't want him to have to sit out in the heat all this time.
You told Tara, or you told your wife no.
I already told Deidre
But
no.
now he's going to.
He called. Well, apparently Deidre didn't get back in touch with him quick enough. So he just called me directly. Okay. And so I was like, yes, sir, I'll go do it. But I can't tell him no.
You don't tell Papa-in-law no.
No, I'm afraid. Like, her dad is a great man, one of the finest men in the world.
Right.
And
he just don't take no for an answer.
Well, no, I just won't tell him no. Like, he's still, even though he never would and he's totally cool with me, I still get the feeling every once in a while he'd be like, I'll just choke you to death right now, you know? And so
he put the fear in you when you were a teenager, and we're still feeling the effects today.
Because when Deidre and I used to were dating in high school, I would help him on the farm and go and do stuff. And I've seen him hit his hand with a sledgehammer really hard and just not even act like it was a big deal and continue working on whatever we were working on. So I'm just afraid of him. So I was like, yeah. So I went and got this kid, but I was like, I can't sit on the side of the road for an hour and a half because I got stuff going on in the office and everything's going wrong. So I bring him back to my office and I'm like, hey, just have a seat here. I'll get him to call us when the wrecker's getting close. And so then we just had to have like awkward conversation for the next 45 minutes to an hour. That was a really bizarre thing. But yeah, I'm not going to tell my granddad no. Well, anyways, we got a lot of good stories.
We do.
Let's get back to that. I'm so sorry about your Walmart pickup experience too, but I don't feel like it's my job to defend $1 billion corporation, you know?
And I know some people may be thinking that those are first world problems.
Oh, definitely they are.
Yes, absolutely. There are a lot of people who yesterday were worried about whether they're going to eat.
Sure.
Or whether they're going to find clean water. And it really, really hurts, and it saddens my heart because there's a lot of good people who are growing up in poverty and they did nothing to deserve where they're at. The people who should be coming up in poverty is whoever's in charge of Walmart pickup over on Skyland Boulevard.
I've sworn off the Skyland Walmart a long time ago. Won't go there for any reason. So I got a story about Alabama students partying. Happens all the time.
You don't say.
I think we're usually in the top 5 party schools in the nation every year. So I'll try to find our rankings on that. You know, got another good study on men for all you ladies out there. What about you?
Well, we've got illegal fireworks. That's nothing unusual this time of year.
That's right. Yeah. Happy Independence Day to everybody. That's American, you know. For all you other people, sorry. Yeah, I know Canada Day was a couple days ago or whatever. Yeah. Canada Day does not get the publicity of Independence Day does.
We got a Florida man story, but I wanted to start with this. And this isn't so much an odd news story as just, at least for me, is a huge story.
Okay, yeah.
And it is Ghislaine Maxwell's been arrested.
Okay.
Did you see this at all? Did you follow this at all?
I did, but I feel like I should say no just because it would be better for the podcast. No, I have no idea what you're talking about, Tiny. Explain it.
We talked about in the Patreon show, which I haven't even released yet, but hopefully it'll be released before this show comes out, that my pick for the month of June was Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich on Netflix. Yeah. It's like a 4-episode miniseries. Miniseries. Ghislaine Maxwell was his girlfriend / right-hand pimp.
Okay.
As far as child sex trafficking goes.
All right. So she was like in charge of getting him girls?
I mean, he did a lot of getting girls himself, but yes, he would, she was like his partner in crime, literally his partner in crime.
Gotcha.
She would help procure, women, and she also had like a lot of social connections. She's the one that introduced him to Prince Andrew.
Oh, okay. I know she was at, what's her name? Chelsea Clinton's wedding.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. There's a big picture of Chelsea coming down the aisle, and she's standing up. She's got an aisle seat, which for me means you showed up late to the wedding. But I don't know about like what rich people do,
right. Well, but anyway, she was arrested in New Hampshire by the FBI.
Okay.
Every single person online knows that it's only a matter of time before she goes down the same route.
Yeah.
And air quotes here, huge air quotes, commits suicide.
Sure, right. As conveniently when the cameras aren't working and the guards are asleep,
Yes.
she will commit suicide.
Right.
Yeah. That's just how it works, right?
That's how it works with the Epstein and
Yeah.
his criminal enterprise that he had going.
Yeah.
But anyway, this comes from ABC News. We'd like to remind everybody that is it Amy Roebuck or whatever? She was caught on a hot mic saying that ABC squished the story back 3 or 4 years ago.
That's right. I think we talked about that too, didn't
Yes.
we? Yeah.
So now, I guess now they're like, okay, well, we're gonna
Let's make right on it.
Yes.
Okay.
But anyway, the headline here is former Jeffrey Epstein companion Ghislaine Maxwell arrested. Ghislaine Maxwell, the former companion of Jeffrey Epstein, was arrested by the FBI in New Hampshire on Thursday morning. Maxwell, 58, was charged by the Southern District of New York, which did not stop investigating Epstein's associates after his death, with conspiring to entice minors to travel to engage in illegal sex acts, perjury, and other offenses. From at least 1994 to 1997, now...
That's a while ago. That's when I was in high school. I graduated in 95.
Also, that's a really short time
True.
span,
Yeah.
94 to 97.
Right.
It's more like 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if they just have like some concrete evidence during that time.
Maybe.
And they're going to use it to get her to spill the beans.
She's going to spill her blood.
Sure.
Or she'll spill her beans.
Totally true. Yeah.
But anyway, Maxwell assisted, facilitated, and contributed to Epstein's alleged abuse.
Okay.
Can
Alleged.
we please just go ahead and say abuse?
Let's just go ahead and call
of
it what it
minor
is.
girls. The 6-count indictment claimed. Federal prosecutors in New York alleged Maxwell helped Epstein recruit, groom, and ultimately abuse girls as young as 14. In some cases, she allegedly befriended the girls, took them shopping and to the movies before turning them over to Epstein for alleged abuse at his properties in New York City, New Mexico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. That was his pedo island that he had.
Right. Yeah, with the really weird buildings and all that on
Little
it.
St. James, I think was the name of the island.
Something like that. I don't know. Imagine being rich enough to buy an island, though.
Imagine being rich enough to buy an island and get away with child sex trafficking for 30 years.
Well, I mean, all you got to do is rope in all the people that can get you in trouble into coming and hanging out on your island with a bunch of underage girls and doing
videos of them doing
weird stuff,
unspeakable acts.
Yeah, right.
And then you just blackmail them, and they do whatever you want them to do.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Anyway, I'm going to skip down here. It says the perjury charges stem from statements Maxwell made in civil depositions, according to the complaint. Attorneys who represent Maxwell in civil lawsuits filed by women who allege Epstein abused them didn't immediately return messages to ABC News for comment. Maxwell previously denied any wrongdoing, which no surprise there. That's what you do. She was arrested in Bradford, New Hampshire without incident. Later in the afternoon, Maxwell appeared virtually before a federal magistrate and waived her right to a detention hearing in New Hampshire, clearing the way for her transfer to New York, where she'll be temporarily detained. Prosecutors will request that Maxwell remain behind bars pending court hearings since she has a strong incentive to flee, according to a detention memo obtained by ABC News. The detention memo said that in the last 3 years, Maxwell has taken at least 15 international flights, and she has 3 passports, large sums of money, and many international connections.
Which, to me, begs the question, what's she doing in New Hampshire anyways?
That's a good question.
You know?
I'm going to skip down here to the very end of the article. It says that most recently the defendant appears to have been hiding on a 156-acre property acquired in an all-cash purchase in December of 2019 through a carefully anonymized LLC in Bradford, New Hampshire, an area to which she has no other known connection. So she was in hiding when they found her.
Now, she went into hiding just like an hour or so away from New York where the people investigating her were. Does that seem fishy to you?
Maybe a little, but, there's this concept of, hiding in plain sight.
Sure.
Who would have expected her to be that close to New York City?
Why wouldn't you find a non-extradition, country to just go
that
hide
makes
in?
The most sense to me.
Yeah.
But if she does have any alleged video of powerful people, maybe she's thinking that she's got
She's got all the cards.
Yeah, she's got an ace of spades. She's got
to
like
get
a trump
immunity
card.
and all of this or something.
No pun not intended, but she's got a trump card.
Sure, right.
That's going to keep her out of trouble, and she don't want to go to Thailand or somewhere like that.
And maybe that's why she was so close to New York, because she's been cooperating this whole time. And they're finally like, well, now we gotta make a splash here.
You think so?
I don't know. I'm just saying. It seems really. All right, I've never trafficked minors, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't even know how all of that worked. But if the heat was on,
know, but I would like to know so we can catch the people responsible. Yeah.
If the heat was on, for me, for anything, if it's you've been running moonshine to Florida or whatever, I'm not going to hang around.
You got a suitcase full of mushrooms.
Yeah, right. I'm not going to hang around.
Right.
You're not going to see me anymore. I'm gone. And it's very hard to disappear anymore these days because of electronic surveillance and debit cards and all that. It ain't like the Wild Wild West where you like shoot somebody and then you just mosey on to the next town and nobody ever knows it happened or whatever.
But it's a lot easier to disappear in a place like Thailand.
Right, yeah.
Than Bradford, New Hampshire.
Or Ecuador, if you don't even want to go to the Far East, you know. Yeah. Ecuador doesn't have an extradition treaty with us. That's why old Assange was in their embassy for forever, right?
The Nazis went to...
they went to Argentina. Yeah, right.
Which I don't know what the law is now.
Yeah.
But Argentina, they hit a lot of Nazi war criminals
They
after
sure
the
did.
war.
Some people say Hitler went there.
Some people do.
I mean, I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know that she was cooperating or not, but I just think it's very suspect that you buy a farm in New Hampshire and chill out when the people looking for you is just right there. When you have the means to go anywhere in the world. And probably the political connections, as they stated in the thing, to maybe get hidden wherever you want to go. So, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe she's cooperating.
I fully expect to read a headline next week that says Ghislaine Maxwell dead of COVID-19.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's 100% true.
All right.
Like, I don't know, like, where you would put her to where nobody can mess with her.
Yeah, like where can you put her?
Maybe Leavenworth, you know, like a military prison or something. I don't know.
But, I mean, again, you got to think. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein, he was in a maximum security prison.
Sure.
At one point had been on suicide watch.
Right.
And there are people, I don't care what the newspapers say, okay? There are people who still got to him in his cell.
Yeah.
You know, got the guards to conveniently go to sleep, made sure the cameras were turned off and not working.
Right. Went
in there, strangled him.
Well, I think, did I say this the last episode? Like the two things our country is united on in 2020 is that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself and Tiger King, you know?
Yeah.
Which kind of makes you figure maybe it was a convenient time to have a bunch of riots and everything and get everybody's attention diverted right after, because we were all like, yeah, rich people are weird and they're doing weird, illegal stuff with kids. And next thing you know, our whole country burns down. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be too third eagle on everybody. Just a little.
Touch.
Just be aware that that could be a possibility. That's all I'm saying. Well, I'm glad they got her. And
for now.
I hope she stays alive. Like, you can't
I fully expect her not to.
No, yeah, right. But I was saying, like, you can't let her die too. You know, like, whoever's in charge, you can't let her get killed too, or quote unquote kill herself.
But you know what though? You know what I mean, and listen, I hope I'm wrong, but I fully expect that she will kill herself, you know, air quotes again. She'll get suicided. I fully believe she will get suicided, and there will be an outrage in America. Again, there'll be a ton of hilarious memes on Twitter.
There are already hilarious memes about her killing herself. Yeah.
And then after, I don't know, 2 months goes by, everyone will just quit talking about it.
Sure.
And we'll get distracted on something else.
We'll be in the swing of election season by then.
We'll be mad at the cops again or something.
Yeah, right.
Something will happen.
Sure.
And everyone will, and all these people who are, you know, guilty of crimes will be on the loose.
That's exactly what will happen.
Yeah.
Because we're Americans and we have a very short attention span. Mm-hmm. So it's just the way it is.
And we don't hold our political elite to account.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So,
no, like,
they lie constantly and we just let them do it.
Honestly.
We won't vote them out. It's like, to get elected, you need a D or an R. We absolutely refuse to put An independent in office.
Right. Well, I feel like the American public is a lot like they have like battered wife syndrome or whatever, because like our politicians screw us over all the time, regardless of party,
Yes.
And people be like, well, I mean, he raised your tax. You're like, oh yeah, but that was a one-time thing. He's going to do me right the next time.
Yes.
That's just how we are. Well, I'm going to vote for him anyways. Stupid. We're just stupid people. I have somewhere on CD a Hunter S. Thompson lecture, and in it he says the sentence, democracy is really the perfect form of government because the people get what they deserve.
That is such a brilliant quote.
It is. I mean, now, before all you like civics people get, I know we got a republic, okay?
Yes.
But
it's a democratic republic.
It's a democratic republic,
yes.
Yeah. So before all those people start calling in and tell, it's not a democracy, it's a republic. Like, well, hey, I was in 11th grade too. I know. All right.
Yes.
Like you ain't breaking any news on the show. But yeah, I just think about that all the time. Like the way we get treated, the way our country is, I'm just like, that's what we deserve because we're idiots,
Yeah.
We're just stupid. So,
and it's hilarious that Donald Trump, which now, listen, I think he was a better pick than Hillary Clinton. But come on, that's your two picks. Donald Trump, reality star, versus Hillary Clinton, whose husband's known rapist. Come on.
I also said this before, and it's not my thought either. Not an original thought. Was anybody who thinks they should be president should automatically be disqualified from being president.
Right.
Like, if you're the person that's like, I'm the guy that's going to fix everything, or I'm the lady who's going to fix everything, let's get out of here. Yeah. You're too conceited for the job anyways. I want the dude who doesn't want to do it, that's in there every day mad about it.
You have to be conceited and to even run, though, because you're going to put your family through the ringer.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. That's the number one reason I will never run for office.
You love your family too much.
They can't find out everything I've done. They're going to have to listen to all of these podcasts to find out all the skeletons in my closet.
But it's just bizarre to me that Donald Trump is so popular among evangelicals.
Oh, yeah.
Who had a lawyer pay off a porn star to not talk about an alleged affair while his third wife was pregnant with their son.
Let me tell you about...
And we'll stand up in Sunday school and talk about, he's like King David. He's got some faults. He's got some faults. He made a mistake, but he's God's chosen man. Give me a break.
If I hear one more Baptist compare Donald Trump to David, I'm just going to pull out my knife and stab it in my jugular in the middle of Sunday school. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's the crazy thing. Like, evangelicals are like, well, Donald Trump, he's got some flaws. He's some bad, whatever. But they were like, Mitt Romney, Mormon? Nope, can't vote for him. No, he's a Mormon. Yeah.
Or if somebody saw me in a liquor store,
right,
would you have that same response? Right. Tiny's got some faults,
right?
But he's a good guy. He's a good dad.
It's like, wow. It's like,
no, it'd be like Tiny needs to get on his knees before God and repent.
Right. But, every Baptist church is different. I think we need to point that out, that we all have a very wide range of autonomy, in the Southern Baptist Convention. But it's wild that they're like, some Baptist churches are like, well, he's been divorced, he can't be a deacon. But then they're like, oh no, he slept with porn stars, he's been divorced a couple of times. Let's put him in as president,
Yes.
It's just like, okay, all right. That's wild. Just wild.
Well, anyway, so there you go.
Yeah,
that's Maxwell coming soon to a funeral home near you.
Well, let's move on to Sweet Home Alabama.
Let's do it.
All right. This is from ABC News 2.
Okay.
That's TOO2, ABC News also. Alabama students are throwing COVID parties to see who gets infected, says officials. So students in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 have been attending parties in the city and surrounding areas as part of what is being described as a disturbing contest to see who can catch the virus first.
Sounds like a social experiment to me.
Yes. A city council member pointed this out in a meeting. City Councilor Sonia McKinstry, whom I know, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Said students have been organizing COVID parties as a game to intentionally infect each other with the contagion that has killed more than 127,000 people in the United States. I want to point out, I was doing a little research. Most of the people that have died have been really old,
Right.
I mean, Not that makes it any better, but for all you like 20-year-olds out there that are worried about it, you're probably going to be okay.
You're probably going to be okay.
Yeah, you're probably going to live.
You're a butthole for infecting all your friends with this.
Yes.
But you're probably going to live.
She said Miss McKinstry said she recently learned of the behavior and informed the city council of the parties occurring in the city.
How'd she learn of the behavior? Did she go undercover to these parties?
I don't know. I've told you my theory before. It's like some dude was joking around on Instagram and all the old people thought he was being serious, but whatever. So she goes on to say they put money in a pot and they try to get COVID. Whoever gets COVID first gets the pot. It makes no sense. They're intentionally doing it, she said. Now, there's like a 14-day incubation period or whatever on this. I mean, depending on what you read, sometimes it's shorter than that, whatever.
Depending on how big that pot is, if I'm the one holding it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've never known college kids to let money just sit around for a few days to see who claims it.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm skeptical on this story. Tuscaloosa Fire Chief Randy Smith told the city council on Wednesday that he has confirmed the students' careless behavior. Smith expressed concern that in recent weeks there have been parties held throughout the city and surrounding Tuscaloosa County where students or kids would come in with known positives. And according to a video recording of the meeting, of the city council meeting that was obtained by the ABC affiliate in Birmingham. We thought that was kind of a rumor at first, Smith told the council members. We did some research. Not only do doctors' offices confirm it, but the state confirmed they also had the same information. Just hours after Smith's briefing, the city council unanimously passed an ordinance requiring people to wear face coverings when out in public. The ABC, Holly Wiggum, a spokesperson for the fire department, told ABC News, "We are not releasing any statements about what was said last night," because apparently people were like me going, this seems kind of wild.
Right.
But Ms. McKinstry said she fears that some people will attend parties not knowing their intent and be exposed to infected guests. We're trying to break up any parties that we know of, McKinstry told ABC News, adding the infected students are obviously disregarding guidelines from the CDC to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. It's nonsense, she said. But I think when you're dealing with the mind frame of people who are intentionally doing stuff like this and they're spreading it intentionally, how can you truly fight something that people are constantly trying to promote? Hmm. So apparently you can get a $500 fine for this, I guess. And I would say start handing out the fines, y'all. You know, like, well, we talk about it. It
goes into effect July 6th.
Yes, right. Yeah.
More than likely the day before this show comes out. So
yeah, you got to wear a mask in Tuscaloosa. Mm-hmm. Northport, we're still free and clear over here on this side of the river.
Yeah.
Tuscaloosa, you got to have your mask on if you're going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like I say, I don't 100% believe these stories, but I guess if they think they have proof, then they have proof. But there's not a lot of kids on campus right now, right?
There's not. And I know the Dapper Man in our Facebook group,
mm-hmm.
he thought he was accusing us of being behind it. Remember
right.
that? And I was like, do I really seem like the kind of person who gets invited to all the cool coronavirus parties?
Now, I did Google for 2020, Alabama's party school ranking, according to the Princeton Review, was number 2. So we're trying to get that number 1 slot back, right. You know?
If coronavirus parties don't put us over the edge to number 1,
that's got to get us a championship.
What do we got to do?
Do you want to guess who the number 1 school is?
I'm probably wrong, but LSU?
No, I was surprised too. LSU, not even in the top 10, by the way.
Okay.
Number 1, Syracuse University.
Syracuse?
Yeah.
Okay.
They only got 15,000 students too.
They must really know how to party.
Number 3, University of Delaware.
That's because it's Delaware and there's nothing else to do.
Well, there's a East Coast bias in the polls, you know.
Yeah.
But we are the only SEC school in the top 10. So
roll tide.
Yeah, roll tide. I don't know. Florida coming in at number 16, which is pretty good. But that's about in the top 20. Those are the only 2 SEC schools. we've been in the top 5 since I was in college.
Right.
You know, we have a proud history of partying in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
And I would just like to again say that I have never in my life been invited or went or hosted a COVID-19 party.
Okay.
I am completely innocent of those charges.
Yeah, me too.
I went to herpes parties.
According to some medical professionals I know, there are a lot of cases of that in Tuscaloosa County too. So just may want to be aware if you're a single person out there, you know. But hopefully we can take our number 1 party school ranking back. And I, for one, applaud these kids for their efforts in making that happen. You got to have a championship mentality, you know.
Yes.
If you're gonna be number 1, you can't go out here not partying,
Right.
even because there's a pandemic.
You got to embrace the pandemic.
That's right.
Party despite.
You just got to party through the pandemic. Like all teams have adversity, Tiny, in their season. So we've slipped down in the rankings. We need to get it back.
Well, how about this, John? On to our next story here. Florida man trapped on property with hundreds of parrots.
Okay. All right.
I don't even know what to say to that.
We have 2 birds at my house. They're parakeets,
Okay.
but they're both mean. Really, one of them's super mean. The other one's kind of cool. But when they're around each other, they're both mean.
They're both mean.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it says here, this from Click Orlando. We get a lot of good stuff from Click Orlando.
Click Orlando's huge news source
Yes.
for us. Thank you, Click Orlando.
A round of cheers to Click Orlando. With a legal battle underway, a Florida man has had no choice but to spend every day and every night at his bird sanctuary with only a couple hundred parrots to keep him company. The Tampa Bay Times reports that Majid Magic Esmerelli from Zazie, Florida bird sanctuary recently contacted the newspaper about his predicament. Esmerelli's 5-acre sanctuary is surrounded on all sides by other people's property, leaving him no way to get in and out.
Did he not negotiate like a road easement, a driveway easement or something?
I don't know.
Goodness.
How'd he get in?
Yeah, right.
Did he get in and then
Yes.
fences sprung up around him and
I
trapped
don't
him?
Yeah.
According to the report, Esmerelli used to have an agreement with the neighbor, Linda Fowler. That's a great name to be living beside a bird sanctuary.
Sure.
That allowed him and others visiting the sanctuary, including volunteers to help care for the birds, to use a path through her property that led to a public road. Fowler told the newspaper she was over Esmerelli acting like a madman and scaring customers away from her horseback riding ranch. Because of that, she put up 2 locked gates and decided to take Esmerelli to court.
Okay.
While a judge initially ruled in Fowler's favor, the case is currently in appeal, and a stay has been granted to require Fowler to open the gate and allow Esmerelli to use the path until the appeal is decided. That should happen in a few days, but in the meantime, Esmerelli says that he's been struggling to feed himself and his 200 parrots, describing himself in an email to the Times as a prisoner in his own property.
Okay.
So, you know what? If you are dependent on on using someone else's property to get in and out of your property,
Yeah.
you should probably be nice
cool.
to
Yeah.
that person.
Right. Yeah. You need to be cool.
The article doesn't go into detail as to why she decided to put up these locked gates and play hardball.
Right.
But
Well, apparently he was scaring off her customer. You know, who knows what he's doing, leering,
she said he was acting like a madman. What do you have to do
I don't know. I
for
mean,
Linda Fowler to call you a madman?
I feel like there's a wide scope of activities that could get you labeled as a madman.
Yeah.
You know, so it could be anything.
I really need more information to make a moral judgment on who I think
Who's
at
right?
fault
Who's
here.
wrong? Yeah.
But I will say that if you're dependent on someone else,
Yeah. You got to be cool.
you just got to be cool.
Well, I was going to suggest maybe a 28 shotgun and this parrot problem goes away, you know, just slowly but surely. But I didn't realize there were gates involved. That's gonna pose a bigger problem. But who knows? Apparently, you can do anything you want to in Florida. You can have tigers. You can have a parrot sanctuary. Yeah.
You can feed your husband to tigers.
Yeah. You can do all kind of crazy stuff in Florida. So thank you, Florida, for being that way.
Yes.
You know, like it's really probably one of the last bastions of utter freedom. You know, you can do crystal meth and own a tiger down there if you want to, you know.
You can lock a madman in a bird sanctuary.
That's right.
With hundreds of parrots.
Lock him into his own property.
I hope he went to Sam's and stocked up on crackers before she put up that gate. Those parrots, if they quit getting their crackers, you think they'll turn on him?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I would just be teaching them all cuss words. Yeah. Well, Tiny, what's one thing all Americans hate?
Well, you know, if you'd asked me that question a couple decades ago, I would have said communism, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah. No.
There's a lot of Americans who...
That goes right along with what I'm about to talk about. No, we all hate billionaires, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, except the billionaires.
Well, protesters with plastic pitchforks just showed up to billionaires' mansions in the Hamptons. So the Hamptons, you know, really ritzy place. And it says, if some of the nation's wealthiest were planning on a quiet, leisurely retreat to their Hampton estates ahead of the 4th of July weekend, they're off to a bad start. A caravan of 200 protesters, some of them armed with plastic pitchforks.
Why plastic pitchfork?
Why not just get a real pitchfork?
No.
You know? I mean, they're all probably like New Yorkers and stuff, so they don't have access to pitchforks maybe like we do.
I mean, just from based on what I've heard, it sounds to me like they all went and got their kids like gardening toys
Right.
and marched down there.
Maybe you can't buy a real pitchfork on Amazon. You know, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's considered a weapon in
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah, they'll put you in jail for toting one around.
You can't get a real pitchfork.
You might be right. So they showed up outside the Long Island vacation home of Michael Bloomberg and other wealthy investors Wednesday to decry the nation's rising income equality, which has only gotten worse since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. The activists drove from New York City and targeted the seaside destination where many rich New Yorkers stayed during the coronavirus crisis to argue that their plight is being ignored. Tax the rich, not the poor, protesters chanted outside the 22,000 square foot, $20 million mansion of former NYC mayor and presidential candidate, that's in air quotes, Bloomberg.
Yes. He was a presidential candidate because he spent billions of dollars.
Right. It's like, I'm in too deep.
Yes.
I'm in too deep. I can't pull out now. I've already bought all these TV commercials. It also said it's unclear whether he was home or not. You know,
Right.
He went protesting an empty house. So the combined wealth of all U.S. billionaires since March 18th has surged by $584 billion.
Sounds like a lot.
That is a lot. According to the progressive think tank Institute for Policy Studies. Now, Jeff Bezos, I still don't know how to pronounce his name.
He owns Amazon.
Yeah, he's the richest person in the world, has gained an extra $43.8 billion, according to the group's analysts, and the U.S. stock market is thriving.
Here a while back, I read a story that he's on track to become the world's first trillionaire.
Oh, yeah.
Which I cannot even imagine
Did he have
having
to,
$1 trillion.
Excuse me, did he have to give away like half of his stuff in his divorce?
Oh, I don't even
like
know.
a really big, and he's like, it's all right, I'm still super rich, you know?
Dude.
I need to marry a rich guy, you know?
No,
Like,
I mean,
I've told you that before, like if I could find like a rich old lady, if we could just divorce for about 3 years until she dies off, and
we'll still see each other.
Yeah, we get back together, I'd be a whole lot richer, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe come into some land or, some property and whatever life insurance policies I could get. Yeah, she won't let me do it though. So anyways, at the same time, billionaires were just blowing up. Millions of low-income Americans are either out of a job or deemed essential enough to risk catching the virus while earning low wages. People can't pay rent and are facing evictions. Lines at food banks are horrifyingly long, and some states are facing their own economic crisis, including New York, and they are mulling budget cuts to the same public education and social service programs that could help lift people out of poverty once the pandemic abates. Now, it goes on to talk about how rich people are bad, basically, for the rest of the article.
And some of them are.
Sure.
But just because someone's got $1 billion, that don't make them a supervillain.
No, it does not. It does not. Now, I will say, at what point when you got $1 billion, do you need more $1 billion?
Right.
You know, like, let's just do something with it. Cut us all a check. That's what I've always said. Like, don't start a foundation.
Well, you know, CNN, they thought that Michael Bloomberg could have given everybody $1 million.
$1 million. Yeah, they weren't too great on math. But just cut us all a check, you know, if that's what you want to do. And I'm not sure how the taxes and all that would work out for you or us, but let's just start writing checks out there, big guy. Or when it gets real bad, you're going to be the first to go. Like, you need to think about it, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, if you've got like a fully stocked bomb shelter, you got like a mansion underground that no one knows about.
You own an island. So, you know, yeah, that's going to help you.
Right.
That's going to help you. But I will
say this.
You might want to build up some goodwill, is all I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you would think, now granted, I know Jeff Bezos didn't get to be the world's richest man by giving away tons of money.
Sure,
I get
right.
that.
Yeah.
But now that he's there now,
right,
you would expect that people who work for Amazon would be getting paid well.
Yeah.
But instead, we get horror stories about how they monitor your bathroom breaks. They're paying you barely a livable wage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
no, I agree. And, you know, I'm not anti-rich people. You know, every job I've had has been that wasn't working for myself has been from a rich person, you know. So I'm thankful that there are people out there willing to pay me. So I'm not anti-rich people. I'm not anti-building your business and making money. I think that's really a quintessential American thing to do.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, he made Amazon.
Yeah.
And now we all use it.
Right.
So he should be the richest person in the world.
Absolutely. But
it would be nice.
It would be nice.
If you would just be
If you just be cool. You know?
Your wealth.
My number one life advice, just be cool.
Be cool.
Right. And just be like, hey guys, I'm going to give away money or whatever. You know, like I say, I'm not for you starting a foundation. I want direct action. You know, and if you don't, then sooner or later they're going to show up on your front yard with a guillotine and put you in it. I'm just telling you how it's going to go. Right. So you need to be cool here and figure out something to do. Same for you, Bloomberg and Bill Gates, who's possibly the Antichrist, according to my Facebook feed.
What cracks me up about Bloomberg is how, you know, the left, they love to talk about how evil rich people are.
Oh, yeah, right.
But then, like, the elites, they're all rich.
Right, yeah. No. Like, you go to Hollywood where you get paid literally millions of dollars to pretend to be somebody else, right?
And then you're going to talk about how evil the rich people are.
We're talking about how the rich people are bad.
Yes.
But you're like living in a $40 million mansion and you just got paid, you know, $37 million to make a blockbuster movie. And then you're going to lecture everybody else about how bad the rich people are. Yeah. Like, do you not think we know?
Then you're going to tell,
you think we're dumb?
You're going to tell me, okay, blue collar Tiny working his tail off in 100-degree heat every day, bringing home a gross of around, you know, $60,000 a year.
Whoa, Tiny's rich.
You're going to tell me I need to pay higher taxes? Come on.
But then the counter argument to that is that, well, if you're voting for Republicans, you're voting against your own best interests anyways, you know, because they're going to tax you and just line the pockets of the billionaires. So what you got to do is vote for the other side who's going to help you out.
Who's going to tax you.
Yeah. Who's going to tax you to help everybody out. Right.
It's like the Republicans, they're going to give all the rich people tax breaks. And you'll get a little bit of one, but they're getting really big ones.
Yeah, you're going to get an extra $50.
You need to vote for this other party that's going to tax everybody, you included.
Right.
It's like, do you want to pay more taxes or do you want to give tax breaks but it's rich and poor alike on either side.
Right.
You know?
No, yeah. And it's wild. And like I said, or like Hunter S. Thompson said, we get what we deserve.
We get what we deserve.
You know? Like we just fall into it. And people would just be fighting mad about it on Facebook or whatever.
Yes.
And you're
there are so many political debates that get resolved on Facebook.
Right.
You know that?
You know, people's minds are getting changed every day.
Hearts are changed.
Yes, that's right.
On social media every day.
No, people are just switching parties left and right. But, you know, I went through a phase of trying to piss everybody on both sides off.
That was a great time, by the way.
I feel like I lost a lot of followers during that time, though. But it was so much fun because it's all absurd when you look at it. Like our whole political process is absurd. And the way that people just get so endeared to either side is absurd. And
it's team sports.
It's all it is, right?
Team sports.
Yeah, it's blue versus red. You know, that's all it is. And
if you're red team, you're going to cheer for red team.
That's right.
No matter what the president does.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
Yeah. If you're,
he's God's chosen,
right.
John.
It's right.
God put him in that office.
I forget, is red Republican? Yes. I can't remember. All right. Yeah. And if you're blue team, all you want to do is knock the red team out, you know, so you can get in and get a win. In the middle is all the normal people in America. You know, like all of us normal people, the people listening to this podcast, we're just in the middle like, yeah, man, this all sucks. You know, like we should probably be smarter than this. Anyways.
But we get told that if we vote red or we vote blue. And if you don't vote one of those two ways, then you throw away your vote. You wasted your vote. And we believe it.
Sure. Absolutely.
So,
well, I love
I was about to say there's a lot of districts you can't even get like a third party on a ticket on a ballot, right. You know.
I love the well, if you vote for the Democrats, there's no way you can be a Christian. That's one of my favorite arguments ever.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, I mean, I don't think God really lined out a party, system in the.
Last time I checked, Jesus isn't running. Okay.
Right, yeah.
If Jesus was running, I would vote for Jesus.
Right. Yes.
He's got my vote, but he's not running. I have to pick between these bozos.
Right.
This year, I get to pick between the incumbent reality star, Twitter troll, or like the dude who can't even form sentences without slurring his words. That's my pick.
So we got to pick from.
Now
we get what we deserve.
Now
Tiny.
I will say he's an upgrade. Okay, at least he didn't what's the word? At least he didn't mishandle classified information, and he's not married to like a rapist.
No.
So he is an upgrade.
I did sponsor a crime bill that put tons of minorities in prison, but
if you don't vote for him, you ain't black.
Well, yeah, that's what he said. You're saying, man, what are you talking about?
Ridiculous.
All right, this is Talking Politics with Tiny and John.
John, just say it. Say the quote one more time. The Hunter S. Thompson quote.
Democracy is the perfect form of government because we get what we deserve.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that lecture's out there on the internet somewhere. I was given it by a friend, and but he's like speaking, I think, at the University of Colorado, like back in 1970 or something. And he was, of course, ranting about Nixon the whole time.
Right.
And that's what he had to say.
What's the old saying? The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Sure. Now, we should note Hunter S. Thompson, a lot of drug problems, ended up committing suicide. But in a super boss move, was launched out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Into space, I think.
Well, he was launched. Ashes were divided up and went on all kinds of adventures.
Right. Yeah.
Some were shot out of a cannon. Some were shot into space.
Yeah. Right. So, we're just not saying he's not like the perfect dude or anything. No. Yeah. But nobody is.
An interesting guy.
Definitely interesting. Yeah. Definitely interesting.
Well, John, what if I told you that there was a group that was busted with a truckload of illegal fireworks?
They're not in Alabama.
I was going to say, that's weird, right?
It's not weird at all.
It's pretty normal. What if I upped the ante, headed a truckload of illegal fireworks and 3 dead alligators?
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Okay.
I was just thinking in Alabama, you could buy a howitzer to shoot off on July 4th. Nobody cares.
Like illegal fireworks, what are those?
Yeah, like we have no illegal fireworks in Alabama.
And every year we have like a city-wide ban on fireworks. Like you're not supposed to be able to shoot them off in the city.
Right. Everybody
Tons of fireworks go off in the city.
To me, I know you got a story to read, and we probably talk way more than we need to. But every year on Facebook, you get Karens complaining about what the fireworks do to their dogs, and how they scare their dogs and everything, and we're not supposed to be shooting them in the city limits. But to me, the most American thing you can do on July 4th is shoot them off against the law, against city ordinances, without caring about what anybody else thinks. You're just like...
Without caring about caring.
That's right, yeah. But it already started on our little neighborhood Facebook group. Everybody be mindful. My little Mitzi has to run under the couch all night long, And I'm like, man, that's one night, Like your dog is going to be okay. It used to be a wolf.
Your Mitzi's a wimp.
Right. Like my dog goes looking for dead ducks when you shoot off fireworks. So,
well, anyway, and this is just a very short article. This is actually was posted by a radio station. But when you're breaking the law, it's more effective to go by what's going to make money rather than pick and choose what you're going to break the law doing.
Okay.
Police in Staten Island, New York, arrested a group of 10 Wednesday with a truckload of illegal fireworks they were planning on selling. So this was New York.
Yeah. Everything's illegal in New York, right?
They may have had snakes and sparklers.
Right.
That's what they got arrested for.
Yeah, like I know it's a city that never sleeps and
Yes.
it's supposed to be a lot of fun, but it seems like all the cool stuff in the world is illegal in New York.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyway, but it says here that along with the fireworks, police found 3 dead alligators.
Okay.
They tweeted a photo. Suspects are being charged with fireworks trafficking and unlawfully transporting 3 alligator carcasses.
Okay.
So,
Well, I didn't know it was illegal to transport alligator carcasses.
well, I mean, I don't know. I would assume it's a protected species in some parts of the country, isn't it?
I don't know.
Like I know if you hunt them, you can't just simply go hunting. It's not like there's alligators. Well, I mean, there's an alligator season, but you have to get a tag.
Yeah, you do have
can't
to
just
get
go
tagged.
down there and shoot gators.
Right, you just can't start shooting alligators.
Right.
Right. No, you're right. But people do kill alligators.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like it's not just open season. You can't
Yeah.
go do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can't hunt deer year round anyways, like in Alabama.
But-
Although you should be able to because deer are a menace and
what
will
I'm
just
saying.
like walk right out in front of your car without care.
But now during deer season, what do you get, one a day?
I don't know. I'm not a big hunter.
It varies, but in Alabama, I think it's one per day,
yeah.
buck or doe, either one.
Okay.
Yeah, first come, first serve.
Just whatever walks out. Just brown us down, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big into hunting laws, but I know that fireworks are illegal in New York.
Mhm.
I mean, everything's illegal up there, but I know you can't have fireworks. But they've been having like, I don't know if you've seen like videos, like people have been setting off fireworks like crazy for weeks up in New York.
mhm.
I don't know why. I don't know if there's anything behind it, but like they're just been going nuts with fireworks.
Well, good for them.
Yeah. I think it's always great, like when you're coming into the state of Alabama, like right across the state line is always a huge like firework emporium. Just announces to the world, like you can basically do whatever you want to in our state. You know,
Yep.
now you can't drink on Sundays in a lot of places. Definitely can't possess any sort of illegal drugs, but if you want to blow your hand off of the M80, here you go. Let's do it.
Right.
You know, that's just Alabama for you. I love it. Well, let's talk science.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We're a very science-oriented podcast.
We are. And this story was very interesting to my wife,
Mhm.
and I'm sure other women out here listening. We have a huge female listenership, by the way.
Mhm.
Might be interested in this story too. It comes from livescience.com. And the headline is, "Why do some men take so long to poop?"
I know why.
Why?
They're trying to get away from their family.
Sure. Right. That's
Just a
like
few
the
moments of solitude.
Right. Once your kids get above that, I'm busting in the bathroom age, you know,
Right.
the bathroom is the only fortress of solitude you have in life, you know, where you can go
Yeah.
and just nobody will mess with you.
I don't know about you. I go to another room and it's not a couple minutes. Terry's
Oh, yeah.
like, where'd you go?
Yeah.
Where you at?
Well, I wouldn't say Deidre's like that. My kids are.
Okay.
Now, Deidre don't care. Like, she lets me do whatever I want to, and I let her do whatever she wants to. If she wants to go to the bedroom and watch Gilmore Girls, that's fine with me.
Right.
Because I'm going to be watching my 800th rerun of Impractical Jokers. So I get it, you know?
Right.
So if you've ever wondered why men take so long to poop, you may have found yourself asking if there's a medical reason. Why else would some men take so much longer than women to take care of their business? The answer, however, does not appear to be anatomical. In fact, men might actually be quicker in discharging their defecatory duties than women are.
Did Beth Mole write this?
One 2009 study in the journal Gender Medicine, problematic title. Problematic title. I hope they've changed that. Sought to investigate the gender differences of various pooping plights. The researchers looked at constipation, stool consistency. Tough job for a researcher, by the way. Like, hats off to these guys. So they looked at stool consistency, the need to use fingers to evacuate. Now, that's a new one.
No.
That's a whole.
I've never heard that.
What are you guys doing out there?
That's some kind of foul right there.
And a host of other less than pleasant duty-related conditions. The team concluded that women were more likely to experience abnormal bowel habits and constipation than men. Just the patriarchy coming down once again. In other words, women tend to have more bowel-related troubles than men do. So if anything, it's women who should be spending more time in the bathroom. That's logical. A 1992 study in the journal Gut found similar results. A questionnaire designed to assess gender differences in the bowel habits of nearly 1,900 men and women in England showed that while most people, regardless of their gender, don't enjoy a conveniently normal bowel function, statistically, it seemed women were more likely than men to face toilet-based challenges. Okay. So that may mean, but men really do spend more time in the bathroom. A recent UK study conducted by the bathroom appliance company UK Bathrooms revealed that men spend an average of 1 hour and 35 minutes on the commode each week. I was thinking that's like one session, depending on if I'm in a really good Facebook debate about doctrine or something with somebody.
Or I've got a really good charge on my phone.
Yeah. Or nearly 14 minutes a day compared with women who spend just 55 minutes a week on the toilet, or almost 8 minutes a day. That may mean that men who spend eons in the bathroom are doing more than just pooping. Oh, okay. For example, researchers have found that 86% of men do most of their reading while sitting on the toilet compared to just 27% of women. So another study found that more than half of men, 64%, and less than half of women say they regularly read on the toilet. And perhaps these men do this because they are seeking solace from life's problems, just like Tiny says. Yes. Jonathan Alpert, a psychotherapist based in New York who wrote about how to overcome anxiety in a book called Be Fearless, Change Your Life in 28 Days, told Live Science, short of a medical explanation for someone spending a lot of time on the toilet, man, this pop-up ad is killing me. There may be a psychological reason, he said. They may see toilet time as a way to get away from the bustle of a busy home. It may serve as their sanctuary and perhaps the only place they can actually have alone time. Tiny and I should be scientists. Now, I'm not checking stool consistency on anybody.
Well, we'll get the interns for that.
It's especially true for fathers with young kids who exploit the excuse of a prolonged poop for a chance to recollect their thoughts, he said.
Yep.
I've had some clients tell me that the bathroom allows for the perfect escape from parenting duties.
Well, I wouldn't say the perfect escape, but beggars can't be choosers.
It can be a hideout for people because no one ever asks you what you're doing in there. And even if you take a long time, it can truly be a safe place. Now, let's just throw this out here at the last part of the article. Let's take a moment to note that fathers spend less time on childcare and household duties than mothers do. I mean, that's a recognized fact across the world, right? Mm-hmm. These surveys also find that dads have more leisure time than moms do. Perhaps they are squandering their leisure time in the toilet. So we've cracked the age-old case of why
how much did they spend on this study?
I know. I feel like they could have just asked me.
I feel like that's money that they could have just put right in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Told them all this.
I think got some guy like judging stool consistency and everything. Yes. And he's probably sitting there like, man, I already know the answer to this. And they're making me look at all this stuff, like people using fingers to poop, which was the wow. If you're out there listening, please write or call in. We'll keep you anonymous. Scout's honor, I will keep you anonymous. And let me know if you got to use your fingers to go. You know?
Yes.
I need to know for sure. Because that's just, not cool at all. Well, I wouldn't say not cool, just unknown to me. Yeah. Like, are you digging? Are you opening? Like, what are we doing down there? Well, you know, Tiny, when I'm pooping, what I always like to do is think about world famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice. And we want to thank them for their support. Check them out at CajunCurl.com. You can order the spice and their Cajun Curl cutter for potatoes all right there on CajunCurl.com. It was created on the Elm Bayou in Evangeline Parish, Louisiana, and it's a seasoning that goes on everything. If you like cooking or eating, this is a spice for you. Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice goes well with chicken, beef, pork, potatoes, and anything else you can think of putting it on. The spiral potato cutter is absolutely amazing. It's easy to use, it's easy to clean, and it will allow you to make your own chips using the Cajun Curl spice. And let me tell you, the homemade chips with Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice on them will change your life. They're amazing. If you didn't have them at your 4th of July cookout, then you hate America. This is simple,
Right.
simple as that. On the website, CajunCurl.com, you can not only order the original Bayou Blended Spice, but the Cajun Curl chip cutter as well. And you'll also find recipes that are absolutely mind-blowing. You can locate your nearest retailer or order your own. If your local grocer doesn't carry world-famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice, ask them to start stocking it now. Here locally, it's available at Bowell's Fresh Market on Skyland Boulevard, Mark's Mart in downtown Northport, South's Finest Meats, and the Piggly Wiggly on Lurleen Wallace. All of their products are made in the USA. Not only do you enjoy the taste of Cajun Curl, but you also feel like George Washington crossing the Potomac on Christmas morning to murder a bunch of Britons in their sleep while you enjoy your meal. It's all natural, it's low salt, and it has a little kick to it, but it doesn't burn your lips. World famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice. Taste the spice, but not the heat. Check them out at CajunCurl.com and use our promo code EOP10. That's EOP and the number 10 to get a 10% discount.
Because we ask that you use the spice, but we don't ask you to pay full price.
That's right.
All right, John, let's go to the phones. We just got one voicemail this week.
Okay.
Can you guess who it is?
It's either Jacqueline or Nate.
Hey guys, it's Jacqueline. It's July 1st, so you know what that means. It's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. Or, as you guys know it, 3 days until your birthday. Anyway, because of the event, I had Hawaiian pizza for supper, which is the absolute best pizza.
Okay, I was on board with Canada Day.
Yeah.
Until she said that.
Yeah. No, I was getting pumped up to say some nice things about Canada.
You ruined it, Jacqueline.
That's right.
And my husband had to get his own because you won't have pineapple anywhere even in the same pizza as his pizza, or he will throw the whole thing out. So it's caused a bit of a rift in our marriage, but I'm definitely team pineapple, as you know. So, in honor of our special day, I just wanted to give you guys a few notable Canadians that you may not have known were actually Canadians. So, we all know the famous ones like Mike Myers, Jim Carrey, Pam Anderson. But did you know that Will Arnett, Joe from Arrested Development, and BoJack Horseman, Canadian. Tommy Chong, Canadian.
Knew that one.
James Cameron. Neil Young, obviously. And so you mentioned, Tiny, there that the other day your favorite movie probably was The Matrix. Did you know that Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss, both Canadian?
I did know Keanu Reeves was Canadian.
I didn't.
I will forever be thankful to Canada for Keanu Reeves.
Well, you think The Matrix is his best movie?
He's made a lot of them.
Yeah.
He's made some that weren't so great, and then he's made some that were absolutely epic, like Bill and Ted. So.
What's the one where him and Patrick Swayze, or like Patrick Swayze's Robin Banks? What's that one called?
Oh, that's called.
That's one of the best movies ever. Yeah, me too.
It is. They did a
Point Break.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did a really crappy remake.
Oh, for real?
A while back that nobody even knows about.
I love Point Break, buddy.
Point Break's good.
That's a good movie. I'm a sucker for Swayze, though. You know, Swayze was a man's man. Roadhouse, Dirty Dancing. He would kick you in the face and, like do a dramatic dance in the Poconos.
So without Canada, you wouldn't have The Matrix.
Well, hang on. I would say we would have The Matrix, but it would just be like a really crappy Matrix. It wouldn't be the good movie it is now.
Well, I mean, let's not pretend they're the only two actors in the world, right?
No, they're just the best possible actors for those roles.
Only because those are the only two you've seen play those roles, right? You telling me Swayze couldn't be in The Matrix?
No.
Well, I mean, no, he's dead. Right. But a living Swayze couldn't be in The Matrix and be good at it.
He's got it. Please don't take this as an insult.
I'm going to.
I was going to say.
I'm going to. There will be no Swayze slander on this podcast.
No, not that. What I was going to say is Swayze had too much character to be Neo. Neo was like a robot.
True.
That was gifted superpowers.
That's true. Like Swayze, like mullet flowing as he's dodging bullets and everything else. It would be amazing.
You know, with the computer technology, they say that it's only going to be a matter of time before people
can do that.
Use AI to insert actors into other movies.
I'm going to put him in every movie that's ever made.
Oh, yeah. Well, to combat that, I'm going to take Keanu Reeves and I'm going to stick him in Dirty Dancing. So
Patrick Swayze in the 10 Commandments.
Take that.
That's fine.
So we all know Lorne Michaels, producer of Saturday Night Live, and Mike Myers, Canadian, but also Bill Hartman. And finally, the one that I actually found the most surprising, Mrs. Jean Simmons herself, Shannon Tweed, and also she was famous for some modeling thing or whatever, was born in St. John's, Newfoundland, which is the farthest east Canadian province. Anyway, that's all my Canadian facts for now. I did listen to the show and it was great. I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than I don't appreciate you guys bashing pineapple on pizza so much. You need to get over it, okay?
Well, we don't appreciate you praising pineapple pizza all the time.
That cuts both ways.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Enjoy your 4th of July. Bye.
Well, I will say that 13-year-old Tiny was very thankful for Shannon Tweed.
Okay. Yeah. You know who else is, well, who's not from Canada? Everybody else.
I was just saying, a lot of people, John.
Yeah, everybody else. Yeah. But no, we love our neighbors to the north for sure. I'm a Canadian sister.
Yeah,
so
a lot of cool Canadians.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. I have nothing bad to say about Canadians.
Except I'm not a fan of Jim Carrey's art. I like his movies.
Okay. I didn't even know he was doing art.
Yeah, he does some
weird art.
Yeah, he painted a picture of Kay Ivey as a fetus getting her brain sucked out.
Okay.
When she signed the abortion ban or something, and it made everybody mad.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make me mad. But
it's a lot of
art's meant to invoke an emotion. So
well, if that's the case, then maybe he's a great artist.
Yeah, right. I don't know skill wise what he's like, but
I will say I'm not convinced that Andy Kaufman literally possessed his body to make the movie Man in the Moon.
Never seen that movie, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they made a movie they made Man in the Moon.
I know what it's about.
And then they made a documentary about the making of Man in the Moon.
Ah, okay.
So.
All right. So that's a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, thanks, Jacqueline, for calling in. And I hope you had a wonderful Canada Day with your pineapple pizza, which you were free to eat because we set the record in 1776 that freedom to do what you want to do is a cool thing without repercussions from the British Crown.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if the British were still in charge, they'd probably outlaw pineapple
pizza. Or tax it. They love to tax
they
it.
Would tax
yeah. They came to America and were like, hey, we've been fighting this war against France and we're going to need you to help pay for it because we're keeping you safe. And we were like, okay. And they're like, well, we're going to raise your taxes. And we're like, nope, we're out. Done. No.
And then me and John, who don't even like pineapple pizza, mind you,
right,
would have to dress up as Native Americans and go on the ship and throw all the pineapple pizza into the harbor.
That's right.
So,
yeah. Thank you to our founding fathers.
Well, John, we've also got a review. We actually had it last week.
Yeah, that's right.
We pushed it till to this week.
Yes.
This comes from the website Podchaser, which it's a neat website. Anyone who's into podcasts that's not familiar, it's like an IMDb of podcasts.
Okay.
You can reviews. You can get links to just about any podcatcher app that's out there. They refer to it, the owners of the website refer to it as podcast agnostic.
Okay.
In that, it doesn't matter what app you get, you can find a link to whatever.
Wherever.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's problematic for us Baptists to be associated with something agnostic.
Well, anyway, this comes from Mr. Death Dealer.
Okay.
5 stars.
Mr. Death Dealer.
Yes.
That's a video game character name.
This is the best podcast on the planet and top 10 in the universe.
Wow.
Which, big deal.
Yeah.
I would like to know who's, I'd like to see that list, in the universe.
Well, yeah. Now I'd like to know what the Greys are putting out,
Yeah. Like Zorp Zorp.
Yeah.
Anyway, I listen all the time. John is a huge nerd while Tiny brings things down to earth. Thank you, Mr. Death Dealer.
Okay.
And I don't know who that is, but if you click on his profile, he's following one podcast. And his bio says, I love podcasts, especially Earth Oddity.
All right.
Thank you so much.
So it's you. So it's you, right, Tiny?
No.
Okay. All right.
I think, I've done left a review on here. No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to go leave our own podcast to review next week.
Yeah.
So I'll have one to read.
I'm glad. Thank you, Dr. Death Dealer, but I do not appreciate the nerd slander. Okay. It's gotten way out of hand. All right.
I think you're speaking truth to power, Mr. Death Dealer.
And we got some other correspondence, didn't we?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
That's right.
Because
actual mail.
We got a letter.
That's right. From our really number one international listener. Has been with us way longer than I would have expected her to. So
this letter comes from Miss Sadie and comes all the way from Wales. If I'm reading this address right.
Sure. Well, we don't know. We're American. We don't know. We're American.
Anyway. Dear John and Tiny, thank you so much for the stickers and the letter. What a lovely surprise.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. Don't get carried away. All right.
I wasn't expecting them. I'm glad you finally got yourselves a Patreon, and I'm really enjoying the extra content. I've enclosed a couple of Welsh flag stickers for you guys as a little thank you. And then she signs it Deutsch.
I guess that's how you say it.
It's Welsh for thank you. Hang on a second. Mr. Google, how do you say that?
It's like a metronome.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
That's how you say it.
Oh, good deal. Now, and Sadie may have to write us another letter to clear this up, but Wales is an independent country, right? That's within England, is part of England, but it's also separate. I don't know, maybe like a state type system.
Well, I know the UK, in times past, there was like all those islands were fighting with each other, right?
Yeah, I think they all didn't get along.
But then they all came together.
Yeah.
And then over the course of time, there've been countries leave and come back and leave and come back, I think. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know how all that works either.
Like Ireland and Northern Ireland are not the same country, right?
I don't know.
They fought.
I'm American. I don't know.
Dude, it's like a big deal. That was going on in the 70s.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I know about the NRA.
The NRA. No, John, that's here in America.
That is. That's our own militant wing. Yeah.
We hadn't even got into that good.
But it was like a whole Protestant Catholic thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know how all that works.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have any idea. So I'm ignorant, which is not news to anybody who has listened to this podcast.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Sadie, for sending us stickers.
Sadie's been with us for a long time.
She has. And she sent us a letter all the way from UK.
And I got to say, it's a sharp-looking flag.
It is a sharp-looking flag. It's got a dragon on it.
I know.
That's awesome.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Better hope some white supremacists don't get a hold to it.
That's what I say.
They get canceled real quick.
I feel like in America, it's a lot less problematic than our own flag.
Right. So. Yeah. That's a good looking flag. I like it. I'm a big flag nerd. All right. Throw out, I love flags. When I was a kid, we had encyclopedias, because there's no internet, and I would just go and get the F one and look at flags all the time and pick designs that I like the best. So I'm a huge fan of flag. Already knew this was the Welsh flag, by the way, from those encyclopedias.
Nice.
Yeah. So like Nate has no idea what an encyclopedia is probably, but it was just books that had facts in them. Thanks to my mom and dad for buying a set too.
We had World Book.
Yeah.
So.
Ours were World Book too. That's right. Yeah.
I feel like World Book may have been like a little cheaper than Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, Britannica was for the rich people. Yeah.
Then they put it on a CD. That was like a big deal for a while.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And nowadays we have Wikipedia.
And now we have Wikipedia, which is basically encyclopedias that people can add whatever they want to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Wikipedia gets knocked for that, although typically when there's like incorrect information, it gets edited pretty quick.
Yeah, I know like when Bobby Petrino got fired from Arkansas, there's a lot of funny stuff put on his Wikipedia.
All right, John, I don't know about you, but I would really love to thank our Patreons.
Yeah, I do too.
I would especially like to thank those who donate at the 10 and above tier. They are Mr. James White, Mr. Chris Timpton, Mr. Derek Reeves, Mr. J.D. Westfall, Mrs. Jane Upton, Ms. Jackie B., Ms. Sharon Craig, The Dapper Man, Thomas Williams, Todd Glover, Tyler Bond, and Daniel Hendrick.
All right.
We thank y'all so much for donating to the show. It is really because of y'all that we are able to take some of that money that me and John don't have in our personal lives and put that towards better equipment, hopefully some advertising, towards promotions.
Yeah.
And hopefully into, getting some more interviews coming on. I got some irons in the fire as far as that goes.
Tiny's interviewing everybody.
I'm going to try. I can't make any promises, but I'm going to try to do a bonus show, not Patreon exclusive, but just like an interview show once a month. So if anyone out there knows someone that they would like to hear us interview or has personal connections to somebody who's would be cool to interview, write in, let us know, because I've got some in the can that I'm still working on. But like I say, we're just trying to grow this show. We want to grow this show bigger. We want to get in more ears, and we want more social media clout.
Sure.
So that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. I didn't get enough praise for the Instagram this week as I did last week, but follow us on it too, if you're not. The more people we have, the more likely I will to actually remember to do stuff.
Right. Well, I think that'll about do us for the free show. What do you got coming up in the extended section?
Got a story about a guy in Atlanta getting shot.
Okay.
And some interesting circumstances around it. Yeah. What about you?
I've got a controversial story about what is not helping spread coronavirus.
Okay.
That we may touch on.
All right. Good.
As well as I think John's got a personal anecdote we're going to dissect. A text that he recently got.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to talk about it.
Freaked him out a little bit.
Got all in my brain. So yeah. Yeah. So sign up so you can hear me talk about this. Yes. Text message.
You have been listening to Earth Oddity Podcast, and we thank you so much for listening to us no matter where you get us, whether you get Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, CastBox, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify. We're on them all.
That's right.
If you would like to write into the show, we are earthoddity@planetmail.net. If you would like to tweet at us, we are @_EarthOddity on Twitter. Occasionally, John posts show art.
That's right.
Getting well
better at it.
Interview pictures.
I'm on a hot streak, really.
He really is.
I'm on a hot streak. Check it out.
So, you can follow that _EarthOddity on Instagram.
That's right.
But the best way to get in touch with us is we have a phone number. What's that phone number, John?
662-493-2059. That's 662-493-2059.
Oh, and we also have a Discord server.
That's right, we do.
I'm going to put a link to the Discord server in the show notes. I'm going to start doing that from now on. You can talk to us on Discord.
Yeah.
We hope everyone out there has an excellent week. Earth Oddity for the Fringe Radio Network signing off.
Love y'all.
Bye.
This has been a very odd production. Thanks for listening.